What's up, SE Nation? Ramsey here. Today I want to talk about the 5 things you can do to make your customers hate you or dislike you. Now, if you are working for my competition, by all means, please do that. If not, try not to do these things. Let's start with the first one. And I want you to note that these are things that you can observe in your own environment. You don't need to do a PhD to be able to understand these. But since a lot of people still do them, and I witness them, I think it's fair for me to talk about them. The first one is interrupting the customer. We have to give the customers the chance to finish their sentence. Even if we already know the answer to the question they're asking, they may change the actual context of the question towards the end. We need to be able to be patient enough to actually just hear them out. Let them speak. And if you take a second or two to pause after they finish their sentence, it shows that you're thinking about their answer, you're waiting for them to finish. It's good etiquette in general to listen. It's part of the skills of sales engineering. Listening is one of the great skills of sales engineers. And if you're interrupting, you're not listening. You're already thinking of your answer before they finish the question. Now, if you are a sales engineer working with customers, or not necessarily a sales engineer, if you're anything or anyone that works with a customer, do an experiment and start interrupting people of your family as they're talking and see how much they like it. Now, imagine doing that with people you don't know and you're trying to build a relationship with. Yeah, so how do you...
Of course we can support it. Why can't we support it? We definitely can support it.
Don't know, but how, why do you...
Well, the CEO said we should support it, so we support it. That's exactly how we do it.
Okay, thanks. My wife will forgive me to an extent when I talk over or interrupt her at some points, and I will forgive her if she does the same. But customers, they don't owe us that. We cannot ask them to forgive us if we haven't built that relationship. We're taking credit out of the relationship bank before we even put money in. The second one is we're not actually answering the questions that they're asking. So how do you grind your coffee?
Great question. We ethically source our coffee from our farmers down south, and we import it all together in a very well lit environment to make sure that the coffee bean will taste amazing.
No, I meant when you get them, how do you actually grind them?
Excellent question. Yeah, when we get them, we store them in these most amazing facilities, up to date with all the humidity, the accuracy that you are looking for.
Okay, thanks.
Killed it!
And I see that quite a bit where they ask a question and the answer comes in from left field. That has nothing to do with what they're asking. And generally speaking, when you're talking to a customer, if they're asking you a question, it's good policy to either paraphrase what they just asked or repeat what they just asked in order to show them that you either understand or you don't. And if you don't understand, maybe you should ask some clarifying questions. But at least if you paraphrase it into your own words, they can say, yes, that's what I'm asking, or no, that's not what I'm asking, and then they would rephrase it. But a lot of times we're like politicians. We want to answer whatever question we want, not what they're asking. And we're not supposed to do that. We're not politicians. We're sales engineers, pre-sales engineers, whatever you want to call us. Our job is to solve their problem. And if they have that question, it is a problem that they need to solve. So it's our job to understand what the problem is, because maybe we can solve it in a different way or whichever way we can. And we can help them and win the deal by just answering the right question and not going off on a tangent. Third one is making them feel stupid.
Idiot.
I knew a sales engineer that was brilliant, very smart, knew everything about the product, knew everything about the technology that the product used, just knew everything about everything. And he made sure that everybody knew that, including the customer. To the point where the customer didn't want to talk to that sales engineer anymore. That sales engineer made them feel stupid. He pissed them off. They might work with someone who's less brilliant, but can actually treat them well. Now, if you've ever seen the TV show House, you'll know how being someone who makes people feel stupid, there's another word for it which I'm not going to say, makes people feel. And if you haven't seen House, it's about a brilliant doctor. It ended like 7 years ago. But it's about a brilliant doctor who doesn't really have any bedside manners, and he makes people feel stupid as he's diagnosing them.
Whoa. Thank you so much. I gotta get you a gift or something.
Sometimes the best gift is the gift of never seeing you again.
Okay, all right.
The problem with that is he was one of a kind. They had to go to him to have their lives saved. We as SEs, we don't have that luxury. There's always another company trying to get in there and beat us out of our customers, trying to win deals that we're trying to win as well. So if you're making your customers feel stupid, you're going to be losing deals, and you're not going to be liked, you're not going to be wanted. And number 4, trying to change the way they do things without understanding why they do it. It's fairly important to understand that if you're trying to change the way people do things, you have to understand why they became like that in the first place. My customers use Tickle. They started using Tickle 20 years ago, and if you don't know what Tickle is, it's an automation language that is fairly old. They haven't moved from Tickle to Python or Rust, and we've advanced a lot since Tickle. And if I were to come in there and say like, hey, why are you still using Tickle? Just let's move to Python right now. Their response would be, hey Ramsey, great, we're happy to move to Python as long as you pay for the 20,000 scripts to be converted from Tickle to Python, our entire infrastructure to move from Tickle to Python. So if you're trying to change the way they do things without understanding why they started doing that thing, people are not going to trust you, they're not going to like you, they just feel like you're in there to push your own agenda. The first thing you need to understand is why they're doing what they're doing today, in order to advise them and help them move to the next thing, the thing of tomorrow that you're trying to sell. Number 5, it's lie to them. You don't want to break the trust of the customer. Sales engineers have some initial credibility, initial trust that we didn't actually earn. We earned by just having the title engineer in the title. That's so many titles. But because we have that, people trust us. We have that credibility. And if they catch us lying to them, we've just lost all credibility. And nobody likes a liar. Well, I guess they could like a liar if they're funny or something, but they wouldn't trust them, they wouldn't buy from them, unless they really, really have to. And there's this preconceived notion that salespeople are liars. So, there's already that. Whether it's true or not, that's a different story. And it's most cases not. But now, when you walk in with a sales engineer and a salesperson walk into a room, the customer usually thinks there's one liar and someone potential liar trying to help me solve my problem. And if they catch you in a lie, you're done. They're not going to buy from you because they don't trust you, they don't trust what you're saying is true, and they don't trust that what you're selling them will actually solve their problem because you lost the credibility. Here's another bonus one. Not being helpful.
Up is down. That's just maddeningly unhelpful.
It won't make the customer immediately not like you if you're not being helpful, but it won't make them like you either. It's kind of neutral, but after a while, you will become unliked if you're not actually helpful. It's part of our job. SEs, the way I see it, sales engineers are the most helpful people in the world. And the way I see sales engineers helping other sales engineers is just insane. So if you're not actually helping your customers, maybe you're in the wrong line of work, because that's in our DNA. Helping is part of our DNA. Curiosity and helpfulness. That's what we have. That's the only thing we have going for us. So if you're not being helpful, maybe find something else to do. So yeah, that's it for me today. Hit the like button if you liked it. Share it with someone you think this will be useful. If you find someone trying to make other people feel stupid, send them this video. Tell them talk to me later. And that's it for me. I will see you guys next time.